Hi, everyone. I'm Therese, and this is New York Girl Again, The After, the podcast for caregivers who've survived the hardest chapter of their lives and are now gathering the courage and the strength to write the next one. Today, we're getting real about the people in our lives who step in or out after your caregiving journey ends. Those people you thought would be there, the ones who witness exactly what you endured as the caregiver, sometimes disappear. They ghost you. And then, just when you think you might drown in the quiet, new and unexpected people walk in. They pull you out of the quicksand, just when you were about to go under, breathe life back into your soul, and remind you, sometimes with just simple encouragement or small kindness, that you're still here. That maybe you can find joy again. That maybe you can start a new life. I call them earth angels, and sometimes they stay. But sometimes they leave, suddenly, painfully. And today, we're going to talk about all of it. How they change your life, what happens when they're gone, and why their leaving doesn't define your worth. When caregiving ends, sometimes something unexpected happens. People you thought would be there sometimes aren't. Friends and family who promised to check in disappear. And the loneliness? It's a whole different kind of grief. Not just missing your loved one, but grieving the living people who vanish when you need them most. Psychologists call this secondary loss, and it is painful. Secondary loss is when the people you trusted most, your supposed support system, actually start to disappear. It sounds harsh, but it's incredibly common, and research confirms it. Studies looking at human relationships after major life changes show that our social networks often shrink. Why? Well, sometimes it's because friends and family just don't know what to say. They might feel awkward or overwhelmed by your pain. Or perhaps they have this unspoken expectation that you should be fine by now. So instead of figuring out how to be there, they just slowly, or sometimes quickly, step away. It's a tough truth, but recognizing it can actually help you understand what's happening. And here's something else that often gets lost. When you're a caregiver, you have these built-in connections. You're constantly talking to healthcare providers, coordinating with specialists, maybe even bonding with other families in the waiting room. They're part of your everyday life. But once that caregiving role ends, those connections often just disappear too. It's yet another void, another absence in your now very lonely world. And that hurts. It really hurts. It makes you question everything: your worth, your place in people's lives, your place in this world, and who you are without caregiving. But then, sometimes, in the moment you least expect it, new people step into your life, and everything shifts. They arrive like a light in a dark room. They don't know your whole story. They don't know every or any detail of your caregiving journey, but they see you. So why is it that sometimes a new person, someone who literally knows nothing about your past, can offer a kind of comfort that even your closest friends seem to struggle with? It might sound counterintuitive, but psychologically, this makes perfect sense. Think about your longtime friends, your family. They know your whole story, right? They've seen you through thick and thin. And because of that history, they often come with a lot of pre-existing ideas, judgments, and expectations. They might remember the old you before caregiving took over. And they might unknowingly want you to snap back to that person faster than you are able to. They might judge your choices or try to fix you, or offer advice that isn't really what you need to hear. It's not usually from a bad place, but it can make it hard to just be where you are. But a stranger? They don't have any of that baggage. They meet you exactly where you are, right in this moment. There's no history to complicate things. They're just seeing you now. Science calls them weak ties. I call them earth angels. People who don't know your history, who don't carry your story, but somehow they show up exactly when you need them the most. And research backs this up. Studies show that weak ties often bring unexpected, life-changing benefits. Interacting with these weak ties can bring a surprising boost in mood and a sense of belonging. Why? Weak ties aren't entangled in your caregiving journey, or the pain, or expectations. They often bring fresh energy and can see you, not just as the caregiver or the grieving daughter. After caregiving, when close relationships sometimes fall away or even ghost you, earth angels can become lifelines. These are the people you meet on your walk, at church, in a dance class, or even at the cemetery. People who smile, listen, and remind you that you're still part of this world, that you're still worthy. And that's what makes these earth angels so powerful. They show up when you're sinking, when you're standing in the heavy quiet of the after, wondering who you even are anymore. They grab your hand, steady and sure, pulling you out of the quicksand. It feels like emotional CPR, breathing life back into your heart when you'd almost forgotten how to feel it beat. Some earth angels stay for years. Some stay for months. And some, they're just a brief chapter in your story, a flash of light who moves on to the next soul who needs some love and support. And sometimes, as much as you don't want to let go, these unexpected angels, they do leave. And not gently. Sometimes it's abrupt. Sometimes it's very painful. One day, they're a comforting presence, and the next, they pull away in ways that feel like a sudden rejection. And if you're already raw from caregiving or loss, this can send you spiraling back into those old, painful questions. Was the connection only in my head? Did I mean nothing at all? If you felt that gut-wrenching experience, please know you are absolutely not alone. This is a common and incredibly tough part of healing, and psychologically, this is tragically normal. When we've been through immense stress, isolation, and pain, like the long journey of caregiving, our brains are desperately seeking safety and comfort. So when someone steps in and offers that relief, our nervous system, in its effort to protect us, can form a very deep and intense attachment to that source of comfort. It's our primal survival response, where our system clings to what feels like safety and relief after extreme distress. It's our brain's way of saying, this person feels safe. Hold on tight. And after years of caregiving and self-sacrifice, it's natural to want to feel that way. But when we lose that connection, even if it was short-lived, it can feel just as devastating as losing those long-term relationships. It re-triggers those feelings of abandonment, worthlessness, and profound loneliness that you might have just started to climb out of. It's a secondary loss that cuts very deep because it feels like a withdrawal of the very antidote that was helping you heal. But here's what you need to remember. Deep in your bones, their leaving does not erase what they gave you. And their absence does not define your worth. Think about it this way. Earth angels aren't here to save or complete you. They're not meant to fill a hole that implies you were broken. Instead, their purpose in that specific moment was to hold up a mirror, to remind you that you were whole all along, that your light was always there, just dimmed by the long shadows of caregiving and grief. They arrived to show you a spark, a possibility, a glimpse of the love and connection that still existed in the world and in you. That gift, that reminder, stays with you long after they've moved on. Every earth angel, whether they stay for a season or a lifetime, leaves something profoundly important behind. A spark. That spark is more than just a memory of their presence. It's living, undeniable proof that you can feel joy again, that you can laugh again, that there is indeed a vibrant life after caregiving, even if it doesn't look exactly the same as the one you knew before. It's the tangible evidence that your capacity for connection, for happiness, for simply being alive was never truly extinguished. Some of these angels, those precious few, are meant to stay, becoming steadfast pillars in your new landscape. Others, they're like profound messengers, just passing through. I like to think of them as souls on assignment, moving with purpose from one heart to another, arriving precisely when someone needs a vital reminder that they still matter, that hope isn't lost. They deliver that message, reignite a flicker, and then gracefully move on, trusting that you now hold that light within yourself. I've certainly had my share of these earth angels throughout my own 25-year caregiving journey. Some who nestled into my life and stayed. Some who swept through like a necessary, beautiful wind and then continued on their path. Their stories and the invaluable lessons they imparted are deeply woven throughout my upcoming book, The After, which I'm so excited to share with you this fall. But here's what I know for sure. What I've learned to hold on to as an absolute truth: their leaving does not, cannot take away the gift they gave you. The very fact that they showed up at all, at your absolute lowest point, means something fundamental about you. It means you already possess the resilience, the capacity for healing, and the strength to move forward. It just needed some revealing. Their presence, wasn't about giving you strength, but about illuminating the immense strength that was already lying dormant within you, waiting to be rediscovered. They simply held the match to your own inherent fire. So if you're sitting in the quiet right now, aching for someone who showed up and then left, take a deep breath. Feel that pain. Acknowledge it. And then hold on to this unwavering truth. Their presence, no matter how brief, was undeniable proof that you are still worthy of love, capable of profound joy, and absolutely ready for a new chapter. Because the after isn't just about what you lost. It's about the incredible possibilities that still wait for you. It's about the strength you've discovered, the resilience you unearthed, and the new pathways opening up. And maybe, just maybe, one day, you'll be someone else's earth angel, arriving at their moment of need, leaving behind your own spark of hope, and reminding them of their inherent worth. Thank you for being here with me today, for opening your heart to these difficult conversations. I'll be back next week with another chapter of The After. Until then, be gentle with yourself. You were worth saving then, and you are worth loving now. And if you found comfort or connection in today's message, please consider sharing this episode with someone who might need to hear it. For more daily doses of hope, connection, and inspiration, find us on social media. You can follow New York Girl Again on Facebook and Instagram, or join our community at newyorkgirlagain.com. Until then, be gentle with yourself. You are not alone.